Hello, Shaggers, and welcome to CPW Hardcore Holiday. I am Jacob Clark, and I have here with me James Randall. James?
You know who it is. It's James Randall. This is Hardcore Holiday. Covenant Pro Wrestling has an absolute banger of a show for you here tonight in Phoenix, Arizona, and it's starting right now with words from Will Sheridan.
Those in the arena here tonight and those watching on CovenantProWrestling.com, I want to thank you for giving us the time and attention on this momentous occasion in CPW history. Hardcore Holiday. Our second ever pay-per-view is upon us, and tonight we hope to bring you a show worth remembering. A show put on in the spirit of giving you all the very best that we have. A show meant to signify our gratitude and appreciation for all of you fans. Tonight, we're going to see feuds come to a head in some of the most brutal matches imaginable. Tonight, we are going to see championships put on the line, and maybe even a few debuts. Tonight, we are going to see yet another turning point in CPW history. Recently, I've heard a few complaints about there not being enough opportunity here in Covenant Pro. People like Jay Scott and Johnny D have accused me of holding others back instead of propelling them forward. And while sometimes, much like on the previous episode of Covenant Pro Wrestling, I get a little overwhelmed, I get a little agitated because of all the criticisms, I have to realize that some of them are valid. And while I had planned to make this announcement after the new year, in the spirit of giving, I figured there's no good reason not to do it right here, right now, tonight. See, I've heard the clamoring of the athletes in the back, wanting more opportunity. I have heard the fans clamoring for more competition on each and every uproar. And without further ado, I would like to introduce you to yet another of the biggest prizes in this industry. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to formally introduce you to the Covenant Pro Wrestling World Television Championship. That's right, a championship not bound by the confines of pay-per-view cycles, a championship that can be defended on each and every episode of Covenant Pro Wrestling, whether it's pay-per-view, uproar, or otherwise. A championship designed for the workhorses in this company that wrestle week after week and keep us afloat. A championship designed to bring the big match feel and pay-per-view quality matches at any given moment. Ladies and gentlemen, it all starts tonight in a six-man ladder match to crown our very first Covenant Pro Wrestling World Television Champion. Our athletes have already called their shot, and I can guarantee that this is going to be a show you won't soon forget.
How do you like that? A new announcement, brand new championship here.
What? I wasn't sent an email about that match. Did he mean to send me an email or like?
I mean, you might as well check your spam folder while you're at it, but right now, there is no spam about this match. This is an absolute banger waiting to happen. Logan Fowler, Mac Daddy Furnace, Pinkish, and now the Revenant, formerly known as the Ref, going head-to-head in Extreme Rules. But first, we hear from Pinkish.
Ladies and gentlemen, your opening contest is scheduled for one fall, and it is an exclusive fatal four-way. Introducing first, making their way to the ring from the tower, weighing in 13 pounds, it is the traveling chosen hunter, Pinkish.
Pinkish, the Traveler's chosen hunter, making his statement there. And you've got to wonder what's going to happen in this matchup. If he wins or loses, it seems like it's a recipe for disaster for everyone involved.
But before we wonder what's going to happen in this match, there's something I've been wondering since this man made his debut in CPW. Why is he called Pinkish? He is green.
He is green. You know, I've also wondered this question quite frequently. It keeps me up at night, Jacob. And I have to think he might be a little colorblind, and we don't discriminate against those types here in Covenant Pro Wrestling. They get all the opportunities that everyone else does, and right now he has an opportunity to prove himself.
I mean, he has got some tough opponents in this match. Mac Daddy Furnace is he has been around the world wrestling. He has fought anyone and everyone that's sort of stepped in front of him in that ring. He's a dangerous man to be in the ring with.
Absolutely, and then you also have the deranged ref that is now calling himself the Revenant. Bad news, just like this guy.
This is the
Logan Fowler making his way to the ring, and you could tell that even the ring announcer was a little hesitant in saying his name, because the moment you do, that's the moment that he's in your face, and it's a very unpleasant experience.
This man apparently doesn't like people saying his name, which seems to go against the well, according to what you've just said. According to what you've just said, buddy, he doesn't like people saying his name. It seems to go against the whole idea of promotion.
What I was saying is whenever somebody says his name, he shows up, and that's the unpleasant part.
That makes sense. He is quite unpleasant to be around. He smells quite bad.
Smells quite bad. He is the reason to never come to Oakland, California, and you got to think that his opponents tonight are going to see those reasons right now.
As much as it is fun to make fun of him, he's a dangerous wrestler when he's in that ring.
Absolutely. He has won, I think, all of his matches that he's been in, or maybe lost one, but he's got more wins than losses here.
And then, making their way to the ring from Bradford, England, weighing in at $245, €245, and 245 Great British pounds. This is the White Rose,
Mac Daddy Furnace, $245, €245, and 245 Great British pounds, and he is also worth his weight in gold. He is one of the best professional wrestlers on the planet, and his ego matches the size of his talent. What do you have to say about this competitor, Jacob?
The first thing I have to say is you can call this man Macho Daddy Furnace. He is looking good. He is absolutely dripped out tonight. And I've already said it, this man is dangerous when you put him in that ring. Same as Logan, same as Pinkish. All of the men in this match are just dangerous wrestlers and can end a match like that on a whim.
Did you say that one more time? On a what?
On a whim.
Exactly. The former referee Michael Johnson has not been liking the reception he's had in Covenant Pro Wrestling, and it's caused him to delve deeper in a darkness that he says created the Unwoken One, created the Revenant, the man who rises from death and becomes anew. He has a very serious look on his face right now. You've got to be worried that he might be a little unstable, and going into this matchup on this festive of hardcore holidays, he seems to be right on the money here tonight.
As dangerous as all of the other three wrestlers are, this man just has an aura around him. You could hear all the fans just sort of fall silent when he entered. And you can't tell if that's out of fear, curiosity about this new character change for him. This change of heart, really. But there is one thing I will say. I peed a little when he came in. And I'm man enough to admit it.
Every time I even hear the name The Revenant, I pee a little. But, you know, we say that there's a change of character. We say that this is a change of attire and all this stuff. But honestly, I think it might be bordering on personality disorder. Because you think about, he was mimicking The Rock before this. He was mimicking the greats like Stone Cold Steve Austin. And now, when that is all stripped away, he becomes something deeper and darker and more scary. And it's definitely something to fear.
He might have just found who he is. Everyone mimics the greats. Everyone mimics who they want to be like. But this man has done some soul searching and found out that he's the Revenant. But we get this match underway, and the four men pair off into twos, and we have Logan and the Revenant and Mac Daddy Furnace and Pinkish squaring off. Logan already going to the second rope, going for a massive knee drop, but missing.
And a big elbow drop there. This is going to be an absolutely insane matchup. All four of these men have had problems with each other over the last few months, I would say. And the ref has been feuding with Mac Daddy Furnace. The Pinkish has been feuding with Logan Fowler. And now, you know, everyone is just going crazy.
I'll say the ref is just tired of people underestimating him and thinking he's just a ref. So he's just sort of thrown himself into other people's business, I guess. Just sort of thrown himself into these guys' war between each other. The three of these guys wanted to just go out and fight each other. And the Revenant just sort of went, I'ma show up. I'ma show up and I'ma show out and prove to these people and prove to myself that I'm better than all of them.
Absolutely. You know, there's nothing better to get under somebody's skin than going after someone that they think they can't defeat. So if you want to make an enemy, do something that they can't. And that's what the ref did just a few short weeks ago after Covenant Pro Wrestling Uproar.
That's a big boy. You might not be able to see it through the cameras, but that is a big boy that just flew. But Logan currently going for a submission right here, trying to make the Revenant tap out. But Mac Daddy getting in the ring. Is he going to break it up? He doesn't. Oh, the Revenant escaping. Doesn't even need Mac Daddy there to help him.
You know, this is called Hardcore Holiday, and we knew that there were going to be some insane matches. And as we see that sledgehammer shot there, we knew it was going to be insane, but maybe they didn't get the memo that this is...
Oh my God, the Revenant kicking out of a Fallen Clash from Logan Fowler.
Fallen Clash is one of the most dangerous moves in all of professional wrestling. Like the guy or hate the guy, it gets the job done. But I was saying, maybe they didn't get the memo that this was supposed to be a festive occasion, a celebration of how we're willing to go far and push the envelope.
None of these men here want to celebrate. These guys are all here to do damage. The only person here who might not be here to do damage is Mac Daddy Furnace. He's here to cash a paycheck and get out.
Right now, it looks like Mac Daddy Furnace is just here to survive as we see those open hand strikes on the face of the Revenant by Logan Fowler.
But that mask surely must be absorbing some of the damage. That mask surely has to be somewhat tactical by the Revenant. Like, you don't just wear something like that into a match just for the looks alone. There's got to be some form of tactical advantage to it. Because that's a thick bit of plastic, that is. And I don't know if you've ever been in the ring, James, but it hurts to punch plastic. So that you've got to find somewhere else to try and hit him where he is less vulnerable.
Absolutely, you know, it does have some utility there. And I think also when he dons the mask, he becomes this character and he becomes stronger and more willing to, like we said earlier, push the envelope and do things that he wouldn't normally do.
And Logan Fowler now just taking that sledgehammer to the leg of Pinkish. But Pinkish is a robot. A sledgehammer's not going to do much to him. Those tools are used to fix a robot. That might be increasing him, making him stronger. But so far, I will have to say, Logan Fowler has dominated this match.
Absolutely, coming right out of the gate with the Fallen Clash and just keeping up the momentum this entire time. Matches are so unpredictable when they're like this and you have so many opponents to keep tabs on and also weapons to keep tabs on as well.
I'll say when there are so many people in one ring, it is very hard to, keep track of everything going on. Like, this is my first time doing commentary. This is a difficult first match, if I'm being perfectly honest here. But it's an exciting first match. But do remember that there is still that table in play on the outside.
Absolutely, and we know that that table is likely to come into play here tonight. And Logan Fowler going for a pinfall there, right in the midst of hammering blows from a baseball bat. You got to give him credit for being brave.
Mac is just trying to break these people. He doesn't care what's going on. What was that by Logan? What? Not going to question it.
I think he fell. Let's just say I think he fell.
Yeah, he had a slip. Okay. I mean, I'm not going to lie. Me and my brother Jimbo, we were rolling around in that ring having a wee little scrap before the show, so there might still be some sweat remnants left over on the ropes and the canvas. So it's going to be quite slippery in that ring. It's going to get much easier for people to fall over and just sort of mess up a little bit as this night goes on.
It's, the ring does get wear. It does, get some damage throughout the night. And you have to wonder if it's going to hold up with all of these high-impact matches that we're going to see tonight. I don't feel for the champion and the challenger later on tonight in our last match in our main event. Who knows if we're even going to have a ring?
I just saw a glimpse of Mac's face. Is he gigging? I think Mac Daddy Furnace has been bust open. I think he's bleeding. Yep, that's just confirmed it. He just turned right to me. The man is dripping in blood.
The white rose became the red rose here.
Logan already going for the win. Once again, Logan just absolutely, he doesn't care about anyone else's business. He is here to fight people and destroy.
Logan Fowler is a man that is 6'3". He has to prove himself when he comes into a ring because they think he can't move around like he does.
But
at least he says he's 6'3".
He may be 6'3" in quotations, but he's not a bulky boy. Like, he's still quite light. Oh my God, just smacking his knee on the chair with the falling clash. And that's it. Logan Fowler picking up the massive victory. What? Well, congratulations to Logan Fowler for that massive victory over. Let's not try and underdo these other wrestlers. Those three.
By way of pinfall, Oakland's Fallen Angel.
Oakland's Fallen Angel.
Fowler
has that name for a reason.
Those other three wrestlers are amazing. They are top tier wrestlers. Like, they are all world championship contenders. And Logan just beat all three of them in a dominant fashion.
Perhaps they're contenders for the World Television Championship that was unveiled earlier tonight.
You never know. That championship can be defended anytime, anywhere.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are moving on in the action. We have Kieran Malachi with a mystery opponents, and also a mystery partner in a mixed tag match. We have no idea who this is going to be. Well, the Anubis assassin. The Anubis assassin is definitely going to have his hands full, I'm assuming, because whenever there's mystery opponents in Covenant Pro Wrestling, they're pretty damn big ones.
But you will never take our freedom.
And it is set for one fall, making their way to ring first, weighing in at 246 pounds from Edinburgh, Scotland. This is the Anubis assassin, Kieran Malachi.
Kieran Malachi, CPW's resident chiropractor, making his way to the ring in a little bit of a different look. I'm told that this the character change here, this attire change is permanent. He is now representing something called the Black White Army. And he holds that this is going to be the biggest faction in Covenant Pro Wrestling history. And it all starts tonight at Hardcore Holiday. Talk about a gift.
And now, taking the
Kyron?
Pro Wrestling debut from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, this is Tay Santana.
Wait a minute, that's the wife of Kieran Malachi, Tay Santana, making her debut here in Covenant Pro Wrestling, part of the Black White Army as well. This is definitely going to be a difficult contest for whoever comes out next because they definitely have chemistry.
We don't really know much about Tay here, as when you sign with this company as a wrestler, you sort of fill in an information folder about yourself, telling them all of your information. And since this is such a late signing for Tay, we haven't been given her fact file information yet, so we don't know much about her, but I'm excited to see what she can do.
And now for their opponents. Introducing first, making their way to the ring from Brooklyn, New York, weighing in at 240 pounds, this is
Ladies and gentlemen,
King Roddy.
ladies and gentlemen, pimpin' ain't easy unless
It
you're
ain't
him.
easy, baby!
Pimpin' ain't easy unless you are this man in Covenant Pro Wrestling.
King Roddy's here!
I cannot believe it. The crowd is on their feet. The Pimpin' King, the OG, is here, making his way to the ring for the very first time. It is like a breath of fresh air right here, right now.
I have missed seeing this man wrestle.
I cannot believe it. I'm just in shock. I don't even know what to say, King Roddy.
Well, if we're being honest here, I think we know who his partner's gonna be.
Making her way to the ring from Brooklyn, New York, this is
Absolutely.
OG Badass Queen, Mia.
Coming full-fledged with a badass bitch energy. Bea Mia here in Covenant Pro Wrestling. Happy holidays, everyone, because this is a night you will not forget anytime soon.
Well, I have to say, they are one of the best power couples in wrestling. Surely, at this point. Well, like, these two, they're just sort of like, you look at them and you're like, yeah, they work. You can...
Absolutely. And you know what's so funny about this? These are two married couples. So, in essence, referee Leonard Seymour is now a marriage counselor.
You have blown my mind with that statement there.
I cannot believe this. This is going to be an absolute banger of a match. And we're only 2 matches in.
I am excited for this match to start and take place. Well, starting us off, we have Kian? Well, starting us off, we have whatever his name is, and King Roddy.
I think his name is Karen. No, that's not right.
But either way, he's in the ring with King Roddy. Well, he's in the ring on his own now, as he's throwing King Roddy to the outside. But King Roddy might be a bit rusty. He's been away from wrestling for quite a while. And, you know, he's an amazing wrestler and he's got a massive fan base. But shaking off ring rust is such a difficult task to do.
Yeah, we say ring rust and people take it lightly, but when you're out of this ring shape, it is not difficult, or it's not easy. It's very difficult to come back in and just not miss a beat. There's always some component that's not quite there.
So hitting that canvas for the first time when you are back in that ring is one of the most painful experiences you will have. It's almost as difficult as hitting that canvas for the first time in your first match.
Absolutely. You know, you would think it's a feeling you never forget, but when you're in this industry, you often do. And Bea Mia has a much different figure than she had before. She went back into modeling. She's had some opportunities, she's not as built and rugged as she used to be. So those bones and those tendons and all the muscles and everything, when they're slammed on this canvas, they're going to take an absolute beating.
I'll say she's slimmed up a lot because of modeling since she's got it. So she's got a much, I don't want to say weaker frame, but we got to be honest here, weaker frame. Like,
and it's not even just about the frame either. It's not even just about the frame. She's also wrestling in high-heeled boots.
And she is, speaking of those high-heeled boots, she is stomping them into Tay's chest. Is that legal?
Well, everything's legal as long as referee Leonard Seymour is having a good time.
Okay, let me write that down. Well, it seemed Tay might have been going for the tag there, but, you know, Bayamia got out of it. Either way, she's got Tay in her and Roddy's corner, splitting that ring in half, just doing some very good general tag team wrestling there, keeping her away from her partner so she has no way of tagging out.
Bayamia, as I call her, it might actually be Bayamaya. But I don't want to ask that question because the badass bitch energy ain't something to mess with.
Oh yeah, she is scary. Like, I am scared she will just brutally attack me. You've seen some of the different forms she's taken in her career, and some of them aren't the nicest people.
I think,
being honest.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things, just like we saw referee Michael Johnson, the ref, coming out as the Revenant. When she puts on those different personas, she can go into deep, dark places as well. And that is not a scenario I want to find myself up against.
I'll say, I was speaking to Kieran the other night, sat in the locker room having a nice chit chat, you know, with all the boys, as we do. And I couldn't understand anything he was saying.
It definitely has a very heavy accent. I think that works to his advantage in the ring. He just starts talking and his opponent becomes bewildered. It's a very terrifying experience dealing with that as well, I've heard.
Oh yeah, I come from a Scottish family. Well, before the Clarks took me in, before the Clarks adopted me and all that, I came from a very Scottish family. And there is one thing I can say for certain. They are difficult to understand. They have very thick accents, and I learnt to deal with it and understand what they were saying. But one thing I will say, Connor, his voice is very hard to depict. But now we have Tay and Bayamia in the ring, and Tay has a put up in that tree of woe position.
This does not look good for Bayamia.
And she fucking dumps on her chest. And I said a naughty word that I shouldn't have.
It's all right, we'll bleep you. Anyway.
Wonderful.
Bayamia. That full Nelson side slam. I don't know what we would call that. Very effective, though.
Bringing Kieran and Roddy now. And Roddy just with a standing Spanish fly. This man, and what? This man, forget I ever said anything about ring rust. I need to remember that this is King Roddy we are thinking of. We are dealing with. That man he's a god.
Absolutely. And you know, when he first started way back in the days of CWL, he wasn't this high flyer that we see today. He's done the work. He's added so much to his repertoire. You know, he used to be pretty much big slams, and now he is so light on his feet. It's very fascinating to see.
Yeah, he has. Maybe him and his wife went on a little weight loss journey together. Neither of them needed it. I just need that to be stated. Neither of them needed it. They are both in great shape and always have been. But you know, they might have you know lost some weight to try and improve their flying ability. Because
improve their flying ability, improve their modeling prospects.
people constantly talk about high flyers being, they say that they aren't as useful. It's not as useful when in the ring. Oh! Just catches them straight out of nowhere with the KM overdrive, and Roddy kicks out. But as I was saying, oh, you were going to say something.
I said it's going to take way more than that to keep the king down.
Yeah, as I was saying, high flyers don't get as much respect as they deserve. To be a high flyer, you need to, I say you need to, it's much harder in the ring when you're facing a high flyer, because you're already dazed and confused from being attacked and falling and hitting your head all the time. You're tired and confused when you're in that ring. So if you can have someone who doesn't get tired and confused and can fly out of nowhere to attack you, you don't know where it's coming from, you don't know what to do, and they have that momentum of the move on their side. Being a high flyer tactically is a very good thing to do, and they don't get the respect they deserve for it.
Absolutely, and when you're facing someone that is that quick, wait a minute here. Wait, we've seen this before. Jesus Christ.
The Queen Throne hit on Tay, and Tay just kicks out.
When you're facing someone that's smaller and lighter and so quick as King Roddy and Bea Mia are, that can be very disorienting when they go on these flurries like this with the attacks one after another. And we see this is the case here with Kieran Malachi getting his own back cracked here. And King Roddy just too damn quick.
But they do, I was saying about how, lifting him up, just dropping him on his back. That's such a far fall. I think Kieran is trying to use that ring rust to his advantage. Use the fact King Roddy hasn't fallen on that mat for a very long time and just trying to lift him up and drop him as high as he can. But King Roddy might be looking for the pimp bomb here. I think he is. King Roddy lifting him up, dropping him down. Pimp bomb! 1, 2. And Kieran kicks out. There was no Tay anywhere to be seen on that. Oh, Tay. Okay. But
the air of confidence that Tay Santana has in her man is something to behold here, because it does not look like a good situation for him.
Massive neck break to King Roddy. And that neck breaker, I've been in the ring with Kieran Malachi before, and that neck breaker is something different. Because of one of his main moves being that KM overdrive, that neck breaker, he knows where to pull you down to get the back of your head and your neck to hit on that canvas and just confuse you, daze you. You don't know where you are after being hit with it. It's painful.
Absolutely. And I think that might just be a Scottish variant of that KM overdrive. But King Roddy going for a pinfall here. And Tay Santana coming in to break it up. Bea Mia also tried to be in there to reinforce that.
Glasgow spear! 1. Bea Mia not breaking it up. She has confidence in Roddy. And he kicks out. Holy. It turns out that she knows her man better than I do, because I personally thought that was it.
We've seen King Roddy up against all the odds and come back for a win. And Bea Mia knows that better than anyone. King Roddy going for something big here. What's he got planned for us, Jacob?
It looks like he has the pimp drop lined up again. Oh, he's got him up in the electric chair, dropping him down. Half Nelson driver. 1, 2, 3. What?
Oh, wait a minute. What the hell?
Tay tried to break it up, but Bea Mia got in the way. But he kicked out anyway. And King Roddy...
I'm not an in-ring competitor, but if it were me, I would have stayed in the ring and focused on that other opponent. I think, now that Tay has had a breather, I think this is a bad move.
The Queen's Door! Genius move!
I may be wrong here, because Bea Mia is on a roll here.
See, from my experience, King Roddy made the right call there because he couldn't put down Kieran. He didn't know what would work. So he's brought in...
What the?
What? She's flying! What? How? But yes, King Roddy made the right call bringing in Beamia and Tay here, as you know he didn't know how to put down Kieran, so he's brought in his wife and Tay to be like, you put her down, you deal with her, and hopefully she'll stay down better than Kieran can.
Bay and Mia looking to pull all the tricks in the book. They're not shy about doing that. They know what it takes to win, but Tay Santana able to counter that. And now we see this fight ensue on the outside. The barely padded concrete is even less padded than usual. I hear that's just a throw blanket that was custom ordered for Covenant Pro Wrestling for this event.
I mean, you can feel it when you step on this carpet. There's not much there. But a massive knee drop onto Beamia's arm. But I will have to say, doing a knee drop on the outside might not be the best decision. Because dropping your knee onto concrete, very painful, especially when you have a knee brace on, which pretty much says she's got a bad knee. But Beamia trying to get back in the ring. Is she going to break the count, or is she's trying to get a count out? But Tay quickly back into that ring. And a massive knee to the head of Tay. And she's bringing in King Roddy and Kieran Malachi.
I'm just in awe here of this contest tonight. What more can these competitors do to one another in order to put this one away?
6 minutes and 6.5 minutes left on the clock here. And none of these competitors seem to want to stay down. I mean, they all have a reason to want to win this. 3 of them, it's their debut and return back to wrestling. And Kieran is the only announced competitor for this match. He has a point to prove to show that he is here and he's been doing the work.
And now that he's a part of this black-white army, you have to think that a win here is a necessity. It's a requirement. It's not just an idea. It's something that is a yes or a yes situation. And Kieran can't, squander that opportunity. And right there with that shoulder tackle off the top rope, he's looking to put this one away.
What could he be looking for here? Oh, and a lumbar check, or as he calls it, the Anubis backbreaker. And that's it. King Roddy finally stays down. I think the ring rust finally got the better of him, but let's not act like they didn't put up a massive fight in that match.
Absolutely, it was one of the biggest fights we've ever seen. Props to both.
And the winners of the contest, by way of pinfall, the Anubis Assassin, Kieran Malachi, and Tay Santana.
Either way, one of those teams was going to be disappointed, but at least we are not disappointed.
Jamie!
But right now, you are not disappointed, Mr. Clark, because we're seeing...
Hey, go away, back.
No,
I hope
Ebac
Jamie
is going to
pummels
win
you.
this one. No question. This one's on Ebac. All Metal Weapon Extreme rules. Ebac knows far more about metal than Jamie ever could. Back to the Future or not, Ebac's got this one.
James, I will make you wheelchair bound if you insult Jamie again.
Well, that's your prerogative. But right now, we're going to see your, what is it, half-brother, step-brother? Explain this situation to me.
Well, I'm adopted, so he is just my brother. He is my brother. He is my older brother.
Your younger, older brother is about to get his ass beat.
No, he's not, because this man, Jamie Clark, that man is a hardcore expert. He's a technical wrestler. He's a hardcore expert. He's a just general amazing wrestler. Good guy. Handsome fella, if I do say so myself. He is the wrestling's Ryan Reynolds. He's an all-rounder, and he is going to lariat the head off of Ebac.
We shall see. This is the best theme song in the history of all of Covenant Pro Wrestling and wrestling in general. Elliot Baker, Ebac, is here to prove that he is better than Jamie Clark.
His name is literally shit in French.
I have to consult my French language dictionary for that one, but I don't believe you.
His name is shit in French, and do you know what else is shit? His ability at wrestling. Jamie is going to destroy him.
So, first off, I deal with Jack Colby, who's always at my neck. And now, I have to deal with you, a supposed Clark, an extra Clark, telling me that I'm wrong? No, sir, no, sir. I'm the premier voice of professional wrestling, and this is my shot to call. Ebac's got this one.
I will bet you 100 Great British pounds that
I will
Jamie
bet you-
absolutely pummels him.
I will bet you absolutely nothing because I don't, I don't give
yes,
in to peer
Jamie.
pressure.
Yes,
I don't
Jamie.
give in to peer pressure.
Yes,
Jamie Clark, just like that. Ebac is back up
No,
as
Jamie!
we thought he would be. The neck breaker. Check on your man. He's only like 4 years old, getting beat up like a grown-ass man. Ebac off the top rope, big splash. That's how we do it.
Yes, Jamie! Kick him in the head. Knock him out. He's out cold. Ebac's done. Out cold. Gone. Okay, never mind.
I think we should get ready for this to be very back and forth and just say, let's hold off on the animosity here for a moment, because the viewers here at Covenant Pro Wrestling, we have fans of both, and we have to be impartial.
If you want me to be impartial, you can suck one. You can suck an egg. I'm supporting my brother, and I don't care if it means I get fired from this job.
That's right, everybody. Get your pickled eggs on CovenantProWrestling.com for a limited time only. Only this week using promo code EGGS.
Create a promo code there. Proud of you. But I will accept Ebac is still a good wrestler. As much as I don't like him, he has proven himself to be world class. He's been world champion before in multiple promotions. He's held singles championships in multiple promotions, and I believe tag team championships in multiple promotions. He is an all-round good wrestler, but no one is a good wrestler compared to a baseball bat.
And I will admit, go ahead, my bad.
That's my move! That's my move! He used my move!
Well, maybe that's an ode to you. And I will also admit that the pinnacle of the Smith and Clark dynasty, Jamie Clark here is a phenomenal professional wrestler. But Ebac...
Midnight! That's also one of my moves that I stole from Zach. He's doing this for me.
Back to the future!
Massive! Back to the future. 1, 2. How did Ebac kick out?
I don't know. I forgot who I was supposed to be rooting for because every time I see that move, I just get so excited.
5 in the night! Jamie, please. I can't look.
This is it. 2. And no,
Yes!
Jamie Clark
Come on, Jamie.
somehow manages to get the shoulder up, and Ebac has to bring the arsenal now. Nobody knows metal weapons quite like this man.
Speaking of metal weapons, he's grabbed himself a chair. Oh, he's stuffing it into the corner. He is looking to send Jamie head first into that chair. And a massive moonsault taking him back down to his feet.
Very quick.
To his back.
To his back, to his feet, wherever he's at.
Back to
right
his
now,
feet,
in a
if you will.
moment. Right now, in a moment, he's going to be on his back, and that's all that's gonna matter.
Jamie attacking that, what seems to be bad knee, seeing he's got that knee brace on it. Oh my God. See, I told you, this man is brutal and he knows what he's doing. Straight to the abdomen. Oh my God, to the head.
Walking right into that sledgehammer, walking right into that clothesline. You know, I have to pick a bone with you here. I think that was more of a clothesline because there was no forward momentum. E-back was the momentum there.
I will accept that. I just see I see Jimbo extend his arm and I just scream Lariato. I deeply apologize for that. That was E-back's momentum, not Jimbo's.
But you have to give him credit for using his opponent's momentum against him. And right now, you have to give him credit for keeping the fight on E-back. That's the best way to win this match. Never let up.
No matter what happens, Jamie will always be able to switch that momentum to his side. He's grown up in a family full of wrestlers. He's been taught since he was born how to be a wrestler and what to do. No! E-back ducks!
E-back just so good at what he does. I believe that was the cut through side slam. Game over. There you go.
I love you, Jamie. You've got this. I believe in you, Jimbo. Oh, God. Catch him. He moved. Jamie moved. Yes. 5-8-5. It's over.
That has to be it. I'm sorry, E-back. I was rooting for you.
He took his head off his body. 1, 2, 3. Let's fucking go, Jimbo. That's my boy, Jimbo.
That's your boy. That's your brother there. Getting a very pronounced victory here in Covenant Pro Wrestling.
That right there, I'm telling you now, is the future world champion in this company within the next year.
A very bold prediction. I was wondering if he was going to be a tag team champion alongside yourself.
I would absolutely love to be tag team champions alongside my brother. But look at that performance he just put on there. He absolutely annihilated E-back. As much as I want to team with him and be the tag team champions alongside my brother, that man deserves to be world champion and deserves to be at the top of this business.
Speaking of the top of business, now we're going to get to the bottom of some business. Jacob Nitro is back after attacking Butch last week because Butch has had this vendetta against him over the recent months here in Covenant Pro Wrestling. This is an Iron Tables match. We don't do this often, and you likely won't see this again. So right now, with a treat just for all of you, what is your prediction here?
I don't know, because Butch is so unpredictable.
The following contest is a 20-minute Iron Tables match. Introducing first, making his way to the ring from Manchester, England, weighing at 114 pounds. He's the lunatic, only known as Butch.
The lunatic known as Butch, sporting the official Covenant Pro Wrestling gear. You can get that at covenantprowrestling.com with promo code lunatic for 20% off. But I wish he would put his mask back on.
It's a bit rude, isn't it?
Looking at that face, looking at that deformed eye, it sends chills down my spine.
He is not a looker, is he?
No, and it's not even a face his mother could love. I hear that's where his attitude comes from.
And that's why he wore the mask. But Butch is so... It's hard to explain Butch.
Nitro said, at the end of the night, someone will burn. It'll either be me or it will be you. And the fire starter, you can tell by the intensity in his eyes, he means it.
I mean, we're going to be here for a while, seeing as this is a 20-minute iron tables match. I'm getting myself comfortable. I've taken my shoes off. I've taken my jacket off. Let's have ourselves a fight.
I was gonna say, is that what I smell? But I digress. We'll work through it. We're a team.
But Jacob Nitro has been in this business for so long. He knows what he's doing. He is a world champion quality competitor. He has won multiple prizes in the past. But Butch is so unpredictable. I don't know which way this match is going to fall. If I had to put money on it, I would say Jacob Nitro, just because he's got that experience in tables matches over Butch.
Absolutely, and you don't bet against someone like Nitro, born with cerebral palsy, overcoming all of that tribulations to become one of the best professional wrestlers on our planet. You cannot place your bets against someone that will do anything to do what he loves.
And the two locking up. Nitro seemed to have just grabbed him. If I was in that position, I would have done exactly the same as Nitro. I would have grabbed him straight away and just gone straight to throw him through a table.
Absolutely.
But Nitro seems to have changed his game plan straight away to just try and get some damage done to Butch before getting into that table. Because I think he's starting to realise, just very quickly into this match, because of how quickly Butch got out of his hold, I think that sort of changed Nitro to be like, okay, he's a danger. He knows what he's doing, if that makes any sense.
Yeah,
he's not a veteran.
He's not a veteran. He's not the most technically sound, but he is crazy and he knows how to use what he's been given.
There you go. That's how you describe it. I'm not very good with my words.
Neither am I. I don't know how I got this job. I kind of just walked in one day. They said, "Hey, are you busy?" And I never left.
I got this job because I took over the contract of that criminal Jacob Sterry when he got fired.
Fired and arrested for blowing up Will Sheridan's motorbike. So now Will Sheridan is out of a car, out of a motorcycle, and will never see the infamous mastermind, aka Jacob Sterry, ever again.
Yeah, the way I got my job was, it was literally just, he got fired and I just sort of randomly was calling Will to bug him about hiring me. And he was like, fine, I'll give you the job, just come here and take this guy's contract. So I did that, and this was included in that contract.
Well, I have to say that you guys are identical. I don't know what sort of sorcery is happening here, but I can tell just from a few minutes with you that you're a completely different person.
Thank you. There is a table now set up in that corner. Back to the match, you know what we're paid to do. Back to the match. And he see Nitro throwing him straight into that table already.
I think this could be our first. No, it's not.
Butch reversing, but Nitro reversing the reverse. See, this is why being that veteran, having that veteran instinct to get out of that. This is what Nitro brings to the table. He has that veteran instinct.
Brings to the table. I like the play on words there for sure.
Why, thank you there, James.
This might be. I thought he was going to walk it over.
I was about to call you Jimbo there because I'm still on the high about my man winning.
Now we have two tables in the corner. Call me Jim, call me Jimbo, call me James, anything you want. Just don't call me late for dinner.
The arm. And another massive stomp to the arm. See, what he's doing there is he is folding his palm backwards and pressing his arm down. So he can't move that arm or else his wrist will just, you know, it will go out of place, if that makes any sense. It will twist and be very painful. So he's just sort of got to leave it on there while Nitro jumps and
Speaking of
stomps
painful,
through the table. Nitro picks up the first point. But Butch gets straight back up. But see, this is what Butch does. He takes the damage, he says, cool, that's happened, put it in the past. And he just keeps on going.
Absolutely.
And Butch grabbing another table. I did not see that coming.
The crowd screaming, "We want tables," and these two competitors are going to deliver.
Well, now, shit, crowd. Shit. You want tables, do you? Sorry, I am still angry that eBack exists. I didn't need to take that all on the CPW fan base.
It's okay. We know that you're a Jacob of some sort, so you've got to be angry at something. We understand.
Good point. Good point. What was that supposed to mean?
Well, you're either angry at yourself or angry at someone else.
Yep, good point.
But I digress. Back to this matchup. Jacob Nitro wrenching on the back and neck region of Butch. And Butch, for some reason, is smiling now. I know you can't see it on the camera, but as he gets his face slammed into that literally unpadded concrete at this point with that throw blanket just draped over top of it, he seems to be enjoying himself.
All of this started like three shows ago, I believe.
3 shows ago.
Yeah,
absolutely.
This all started on 1.9 where Butch attacked Nitro after suffering a loss to him. I think Butch sort of got offended about losing to Nitro, but I don't know. But Butch put him out of action for 4 weeks, maybe 3.
Butch is, he's going through some things. He recently lost his mask to the entertainer. He's trying to find his footing and who he is as a person without that mask. And I guess lashing out at someone like Jacob Nitro, who was confident, who knows who they are, that was his way of getting even, I guess.
I mean, taking it out on just any random person, it's a childish move, if we're being honest here. Just attacking some random person because someone else did something to you.
For sure.
Quite childish, but I hope he can't hear me because he is genuinely terrifying. Mainly his face. It's mainly his face. I don't like his face.
Yeah, that's an intimidation factor now that he's gained since losing his mask. So maybe there's a silver lining in everything. That table is set up. He went for it.
It's just... Those barricades are solid metal and very, very thin. That is like a sharp pain right to the ribs being dropped on that.
And you have to credit the innovative offense there of Jacob Nitro, setting up that table and trying to use his environment to get an elimination there or get another point. Just wasn't meant to be.
But just a quick recap to keep everyone up to date. Nitro is still the only one to score a point so far, leading 1 point to none. And we are 7 minutes into this contest.
I think it's become less about the tables and more about sheer violence. I think these two, maybe even, Butch just wants to inflict damage. But as I say that,
Nitro, as much as Nitro wants to beat up Butch and attack Butch, I think he knows that the only way to truly embarrass him, truly get... he's trying to one-up Butch here. He's trying to prove that he's better, and I think he realizes the only way of doing that is by beating him.
Nitro may have been going for that crossfire there. Butch able to counter. Set up on another table.
Is Nitro about to get his 3rd point? No! Again reversing out of it, and Nitro again countering out.
I'm seeing some red here. See a little bit of crimson.
Is that Nitro's hair?
And now it's Butch's face. Crossfire on the table remains those remnants. And now this can only mean one thing. What's it mean, Jamie? Oh, wait a minute.
Did you just call me Jamie?
Oh, well, did I call you Jamie? Yes, I did. That's the nicest thing you've ever heard? I knew. Jamie, Jacob, you're all the same. The accents, the families. How can he even tell you guys apart?
But Nitro just hit a massive moonsault, which Nitro hasn't really been known for his flying ability apart from that Nitro boost. Like, him hitting something like that is quite unseen.
Quite unseen, breaking out all the stops here tonight, trying to really prove the point that he is better than Butch.
And Butch just slamming him into those steps. I'm starting to realize your point of Butch isn't here to win the match. Butch is here to hurt Jacob Nitro and nothing else. Nitro clearing that announcer's table, and I can confirm to you that that table does count as a point in this matchup.
It does indeed.
So Nitro, I believe, is 2-0 ahead in this current moment. Can I get confirmation of that in my ear?
I do believe he is 2 ahead. That's what I'm being told in my ear. They talk to me. They don't talk to you.
Yeah, that makes sense. Am I on the wrong one?
You know, some things are on purpose. Some things are orchestrated. And that is one of those things.
But Butch just stomping on Nitro's nose. Oh, he could be looking for the black mass here. Trying to knock Nitro out. Oh my god, he just spun his jaw.
Well, now that Butch has taken Jacob Nitro to church, so to speak, it is time for him to start thinking about getting some of these points for this matchup. There's only 9 minutes and 45 seconds left in this one.
I mean, if we're being honest here, Butch is a lot younger than Nitro is. So he's going to have that stamina to keep going and keep going and keep going. Plus the fact of him being a lunatic. He doesn't know when to stop right from wrong or anything. He has no filter. He's just going. Feast your eyes! That's my move.
Well,
anyway,
it's very effective in the lunatic punch.
This man is just going and going. He doesn't want to win the match. He just wants Nitro gone. Black Mass!
I have never seen anything like this in my history here in Covenant Pro Wrestling. A match is, you know, ready and available for him to win, and all he wants to do is take his opponent's head off.
He just wants Nitro gone. I don't think he wants to win this match. I think he wants to take Nitro's career. Because I don't think I've seen Butch touch a table in this match, apart from when he's been put through them. The man isn't here for victory. The man is here for personal gain, and that being taking out Jacob Nitro.
He did say he was here for retribution, and maybe his idea of retribution looks a little different.
But he seems to be caught in the crossfire of his own retribution.
And the jagged shards of that table hitting Butch, where he's already been busted open. Not a good look.
And Nitro picks up his 3rd point in the match. And a massive, massive kick to the head of Butch. And he could be looking for a 3rd crossfire. And he gets it. He had his crosshairs locked in, and he got caught in the crossfire.
You know, as much as we talk about Butch inflicting damage, I don't think I've ever seen as much damage inflicted as we're seeing from Jacob Nitro here tonight. He's hit his signatures, he's hit his finishers, he's driven him through table after table, and it doesn't seem like he's done yet.
Yet Nitro is here to embarrass him through the numbers. Nitro is here to try and prove the point to Butch that he wants to embarrass him through the numbers, the amount of tables he can put him through. Also pretty much stating the amount of times he can beat him in one match. Whereas Butch is here to just brutalize and batter Jacob Nitro.
Exactly, and right now it seems like the stats are saying that Jacob Nitro is 300% better than Butch.
But there is still 6 minutes left in this contest. Butch could be trying to play the long game and just knocking out Jacob Nitro so he can put him through as many tables as he pleases while he's unconscious. And a massive fisherman driver.
And another perhaps?
Ooh, dropping him on the neck. Butch going up top. He's crazy, and a massive elbow drop. He's crazy. He's gonna hurt me. Oh, and a massive lunatic punch, taking him down. Could he be looking for the black mass again? Yes, he is. I think he wants this man's nose broken. I think
he wants to take the head clean off. Nose broken? I don't think so. He wants that nose to be separated from the rest of the body.
He wants that head to be sent to the third row for a fan to take home and sell on eBay.
Speaking of sales, we have a sale going on right now on CovenantProWrestling.com. Use the code Hardcore Holiday for 100% off.
Wait, what?
Yeah, we're not very good at business around here.
So I'm not looking at the match. I'm on the phone. Sorry, I need to buy the new Jamie t-shirts.
Wait a minute, could it be another Crossfire setting
Okay,
up
cool,
here?
I bought it.
Crossfire!
I've just bought myself a lovely new Jimbo Clark t-shirt.
I'm sure it looks
Could he be
lovely.
looking for another Crossfire?
And it cannot be overstated, those jagged shards of table. They are not fun.
And just raking at the nose. He's got his fingies right up in there. And Butch tapped out. Could that have been a tactical tap out to get Jacob Nitro to release the hold?
I'm not sure, but we have 4 minutes and 20 seconds right now. And I can't imagine he's going to be able to put Nitro through these tables in that amount of time. I think this one's safe to say it's over.
I mean, Butch has done some crazy things before, but I don't think that card is going to be on the table here. And a massive splash from Butch. I think Butch now, I think he's realised the time left. I think he knows he can't do the long game anymore. He just wants to brutalise Nitro. And Nitro with a massive shooting star. And another massive shooting star. Butch punching him in the head.
And you know, a fun fact about how Butch works in Covenant Pro Wrestling, after every match he has to be seen by a mental health professional. And tonight, I imagine that their private sessions are going to be far more intense than they have been in the past.
Butch is trying to snap the ankle of Jacob Nitro. He doesn't want him to walk again. He wants his head in the third row, and he doesn't want Nitro to walk out of it. And Nitro also tapping out. These two men have both got each other to tap out just because of the amount of damage they have done to each other in this match.
Unfortunately for them, this is no regular contest. This is no submission match. This is iron tables.
I'll say you could tell it's iron tables from the carnage around the ring. You can see all of the shattered tables just round there. There's no way of avoiding them. They can be used as weapons. They can hit each other with them. And it's just out of order. We're going to need to get someone to clean it up after this match. He seemed to have been going for that feast your eyes there, but Nitro got out. And he's looking for a crossfire! But he's not done, just a massive elbow to the head.
No, Butch caught in the crossfire many times tonight, and he's still in the crosshairs of Jacob Nitro.
Nitro seems to have proven his point. He has kept up to the brutality of Butch, and he's put him through the table multiple times.
It does say something that you can keep up the brutality and also follow the objective of the match.
There's the spider suplex into the Nitro boost. It's over. No way is he going for another. He can't. He's calling him to his feet. Thank the Lord. There is no way Butch could have survived another Nitro boost after that. But a massive kick to the head, kick to the nose where he's already bleeding, and again. Once again, Nitro just pulling at the nose. He's got his fingies right up in his schnozzer.
And yet again, tapping out. But those tap outs don't count right now.
Those tap outs mean nothing in this match, you're right. But there's 50 seconds left in this match. Physically, I don't think Butch can win this match.
Absolutely not. And ladies and gentlemen, we talked about the damage that the ring can sustain throughout the night. We have to wonder if it's going to be fit for the next matches in our card, because this has been absolute brutality. This has been a war zone. And as we come in, closing in on the 30 seconds and past it now, it's not stopping. It's still continuing.
These two not just accepting that Nitro's won. These two are just here to attack each other and beat each other and just make a bloody mess of this
Making
ring.
a statement.
Nitro boost as we hit the 5-second mark. It's over. 3, 2, 1. Nitro win and just kicking him after the match. Nitro's finally collapsing. But what?
And your winners of this simultaneous match by way of sheer brutality, Jacob Nitro.
Nitro rightfully celebrating his victory there. Proving once and for all that he is better. What's Nitro doing? He doesn't seem to be done.
Nitro has somehow manifested a tattoo. I am being told that he calls this going full Nitro, and we can only see one thing coming after this.
He says it's going down in flames, and he was not lying. The table is on fire. And he's lifting up Butch. No, Nitro, you cannot do
Nitro.
this. Sending him through. Oh my God. And just doing a little dance afterwards.
And now while we get medical attention for Butch, unfortunately did not go his way tonight. We're moving on to Emma Barkley versus a mystery opponent. Of course, Emma Barkley is accompanied by Lauren Osborne, her friend and confidant here. And this is a 2 out of 3 falls match. So from one crazy match to another, it just does not stop in Covenant Pro Wrestling.
I mean, Emma Barkley hasn't had the best of luck recently. Like...
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is a 2 out of 3 falls match. Making her way to the ring, accompanied by Lauren Osborne from Huntington, California. This is California sweetheart, Emma Barkley.
Emma Barkley feeling festive in those green tones here tonight, rocking the vintage Covenant Pro Wrestling snapback cap that you can only get on CovenantProWrestling.com. This is going to be an absolute insane match. Anytime she gets into the ring, she impresses, but who is this going to be against?
I mean, she always impresses, but she's struggled to pick up that victory recently. In that, it all stemmed from that 6-woman elimination match for the #1 contender match. She got 3 eliminations in that match, made it to the final 2, but got eliminated. And she's been feeling quite down in herself since. She feels like she's unable to, I don't know how to describe it.
Wait a minute!
No way!
I don't know how to describe it. I don't know how to describe this.
What? Liza horror!
The blood moon has risen upon Covenant Pro Wrestling because Liza Horror is here.
Liza Horror is in CPW.
Ladies and gentlemen, Liza Horror making her way down to the ring, and Emma Barkley is going to have the fight of her life. The Horror family is one of the most decorated families in all of professional wrestling, and Liza Horror is no different.
Former world champion in CWL, Liza Horror. This woman knows her way around the ring. She's grown up in a wrestling family. She knows what she's doing, when to do it, and how to do it. The only issue here could possibly be ring rust.
Absolutely. But she looks great. She looks very focused here in this match. And Emma Barkley has the element of surprise against her right now. Both of these women sending each other into the corner. And now Liza just hammering away.
Sorry for not chatting there. I just had a very important message to send.
Definitely a very important message. Let everyone know that Liza Horror is here in Covenant Pro Wrestling. The earth has shook. The moon has risen. And Emma Barkley, you know, I don't know if her luck is going to get better tonight because Liza Horror is a tough one to beat.
I mean, Emma Barkley's an amazing competitor. She is one of the... she's got such a bright future ahead of her. She is genuinely top tier, but Liza Horror's Liza Horror. There's no two ways about it. Liza Horror is one of the best women's wrestlers to ever step into a wrestling ring. And Emma Barkley is still new to this business.
Absolutely. Emma Barkley is very, very new to this business. Covenant Pro Wrestling is one of the first places that she has been. And Liza Horror, much like Zistro, much like Daniel, she has been everywhere.
As Emma locks in that Dragon Sleeper, trying to get Liza to tap out, but Liza just rolls her off like it was nothing. Liza throwing Emma straight to the outside. Follows her out. What's she looking to do here? Oh, and a drop kick to the knee, sending her crashing to the floor. Golly gosh, Liza. Hi, Emma. Sorry, I speak to her backstage sometimes. She's very nice. Anyway, Liza just... Oh my God, the foot DDT! It's over. The match has to be called off.
But they do have until a 20 count here in Covenant Pro Wrestling, but they're getting dangerously close to our table. And just as I say that, Emma Barkley, the good sport that she is, gives us a little breathing room. You know, Emma is very well liked in the backstage area. She's always at catering. She's always handing out free slices of the za, if you will.
She is a very nice...
And now she's handing out slices of that cake there.
Yeah, let's see. What? Who said that?
No
anyway,
comment.
Emma just throwing Liza towards her good friend Lauren. And just staying in that ring. Could she be looking for that count out just to try and get a bit of momentum? Emma's a good-hearted person. No, she's not. I was going to say she's a good-hearted person, but that you can't. There's not much you can do. If you're on a losing streak and you just feel bad, you just want that win so desperately. You'll do anything to get it, just to get your momentum going again.
Absolutely, but you have to think that Emma Barkley, she is a very caring person. Maybe she was giving Liza just a little bit of breathing room.
I mean, she might have told Lauren to back up and give her some breathing room as well. That's why Lauren stood over there instead of in her normal corner. Oh my God! Just dropping her against the table and kicking her head against it, crushing it between them.
We talk about loving. I guess there's no love lost here. There was none gained because this is the first time they faced each other.
But do not forget that this match is a 2 out of 3 falls match. What do they need to do? Hold her from above, just kicking her in the head. Looking for the cover here. 1, 2. No, Emma kicks out.
Emma Barkley showing us why, even though she is new to the craft, new to the company,
she is looking for the blood moon here. Sorry to cut you off there, James. But I think she is. Blood moon! Hit on Emma.
That's got to be a fall.
I think that's the first fall. But Emma kicks out. See, she may be young into the business, but there's one thing that's for true. And she has heart.
She has heart, she has gut, she has grit, and she has a game plan here. Emma went for that super kick. And now Liza
just showing how much energy she has left in the tank.
I think she's running over to CovenantProWrestling.com to pre-order her new Liza Horror t-shirt.
She's running over to CovenantProWrestling.com to pick up herself a lovely set of Jacob Clark nameplates for your replica Covenant Pro Wrestling World Championship.
That is a fantastic idea, and it's a fantastic buy. Very cheap, I should say, on CovenantProWrestling.com. But I have to ask your opinion, Jacob. Was all that effort that she put in to run against the ropes, that mocking that she was doing, is that a good strategy in a match like this?
I mean, it's such a good mental game. Like, I've had that done to me a few times in a match where someone is just... Well, it's normally they run laps round the ring. Liza seems to have created her own form of it, but they run laps around the ring just to show, I can do this all day. I have the energy to keep going. And when you're in that ring with someone doing something like that, all you can think is, oh God, I'm in for a long run here. I don't know how much I can do to keep them down when they're able to do something like that. But speaking of being able to keep them down, Liza seems to be trying to snap the arm of Emma here. Oh my God, just bending it back. If you didn't know, your arm is not supposed to bend that way. And
Thank you.
Big senton.
Wait a minute, she got the knees up.
Emma getting the knees up, seem to try and get some offense in here. Oh, could you be looking for the California Dreamin'? California Dreamin'! And going for the cover. Could this be the first fall? No! Liza kicks out. She may have a bit of ring rust, but she is still a former world champion and still one of the best in the business.
Absolutely California Dreamin' just for a moment, but Liza Horror waking up and snapping out of it. Now Emma Barkley on the top rope. Meteora there.
Dropping their knees down. Just booting her in the face here. See, that move can be seen as disrespectful, but I think that's more of a desperation move on Emma's behalf. She's trying to get that win, trying to do anything to scratch and claw her way to a victory.
You see referee Leonard Seymour calling a rope break there. He doesn't call them often anymore, but sometimes, just for the fairness of the match, he likes to call the rope breaks to enforce the traditional rules, just to keep the match going, keep the match fair.
We also can't forget the fact that Lauren is currently in the corner of Emma. These two seem to have a sort of friendly rivalry going on with each other, and I don't know how to describe what's going on between these two. But
I don't know if it's a mentorship, who's the mentor, who's the mentee. We'll have to touch base with them and find out, but definitely the friendship is one that is welcome for Emma as she goes for a pinfall.
But you can't deny that Lauren's involvement might be a big game changer. As she's shouting and cheering her on, but also trying to help her out and give her advice. It's a very difficult thing to do, managing someone in a match. There is so much riding on your information, your support in that match.
For sure, people think it's just, you know, standing there and giving a little bit of support there. No, it's strategizing. It's making sure that you're being useful and being a utility.
Going for the cover here after the massive wipeout. 2. No! Liza kicks out!
I cannot believe this.
But you know what follows the wipeout? In comes the California Dreaming. As she hits it, getting a lovely connection and going for the cover. 1, 2, 3.
What the hell?
Liza. We need to get this woman tested for something because she is kicked out of 2 California Dreamings now. There is no way how?
Ladies and gentlemen, I know we still have more of a show for you here tonight, but I think this might be match of the night contender.
These two just going back and forth. It seems like they know each other's moves so well. They know everything the other one's going to do. But they've never, I don't believe, to my knowledge, they've been in the ring together before.
You know, we do know that Emma Barkley is a student of the game where she picks up tricks like that. So maybe she's, watched some of the footage of Liza Horror winning her championships, having those big matches.
What? Sorry. Zoned out a minute. But she just whips her around and sends her head first into that turnbuckle. Liza trying to go for that sneaky pin there, but Emma kicked out. She sort of had to... When you're in a pin like that, you sort of have to take a grasp of your surroundings before you realise you're being pinned. And then you do the big kick out and get the fuck out and get out. Whoopsie-daisy.
The network's not going to like us working together, Jacob. I'm telling you right now. But it's all right. Because right now we're watching some of the best professional wrestling that you'll ever see. And you can only see it on Covenant Pro Wrestling. So don't cancel our show.
I mean, they say us. I'm the one that's dropping in some accidental swears. I'm sorry. I've grown up with Scottish people, Irish people, English people. It's in me blood to swear, and it's very difficult to turn it off. But Emma up top with a massive frog splash onto Liza, going for the cover. 1, 2, 3. The first fall goes to Emma.
Wait a minute.
And straight away going for the wipeout. Going straight into the cover while she's already dazed and confused from the frog splash and the wipeout. And she picks up the win.
I cannot believe it. A momentous debut here for Liza Horror, but Emma Barkley knocking some of that bad luck right off of her shoulder. A new leaf, so to speak, for Emma Barkley. But this match has to be match of the night contender.
And you can see Lauren on the outside cheering her on. And Emma deserves to celebrate this moment because that's such a big win for her. But coming up next,
as she celebrates, we are switching gears. We have Dragon Kid and Morgan Sharp taking on our tag team champions, which I am now told are called the Agents of Lunacy. No longer just Ryder and Harnage. The Agents of Lunacy, our tag team champions, are going to defend their belts in tag team contest Hell in a Cell.
Well, there is one thing I will say. These teams are very impressive, but they're no Clark Dynasty.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is a Hell in a Cell match. And it is for the World Tag Team Championships. Introducing first, making their way to the ring from San Antonio, Texas, weighing in at 207 pounds, he is the Renegade, Morgan Sharp.
Morgan Sharp dressed like old Santa Claus, wondering if he's going to bring the gift of tag team titles to his team here tonight.
I mean, Morgan Sharp, I'd say he's like a new veteran, if that makes any sense. He's just, he's got the mindset and the mentality of a veteran, but he's so new to the business and so young and fresh. I don't know if what I'm saying makes sense, but...
Oh, he's definitely old school. It would be the equivalent. Morgan Sharp is the equivalent of the American Heart Dungeon. The places where he has wrestled in are places where you learn the old tricks. And he's integrated some of the new style in there, but he's very much an old soul here in the industry.
Which is seems to be a direct opposite to his tag team partner here, Dragon Kid. Speaking of,
Dragon Kid embracing some different persona. He is the fire of the dragon spirit.
I know people can't see it, but I'm currently out of my seat and I'm dancing to this song.
Oh, it's definitely a banger. Buy the MP3 on CovenantProWrestling.com.
The series is on MP3.
Hey, absolutely, we sell everything here. Gotta keep the lights on.
That makes sense. But Dragon Kid making his way to the ring, and as I was saying, Dragon Kid is very young in this business, and it sort of shows. No disrespect to him, but you can tell he's young to the business. He's got heart, he's determined to win, but he's not got the knowledge, the mentality, the same way that his tag team partner Morgan Sharp does. And all of that skill.
He is very young. He does have a penchant for the luchador style. He is very proud of that. You know, he is from Guadalajara. And he tries to bring that style in to Covenant Pro Wrestling, which is, you know, it's very welcome. But his newness, his I guess youth, is definitely a detriment sometimes.
Oh, it has to be. But we cannot deny the fact that maybe in a year, maybe two, maybe even less than that, this man is a future world champion contender. He's proved himself to have heart, he's proved himself to be determined. He's just got to work on that general mentality and in-ring knowledge.
And this could be the stepping stone that changes everything for Dragon Kid, because the titles are on the line here tonight. As we see our tag team champions.
Introducing your champions, making their way to the ring, weighing in whatever the hell they want. They are the Dane's Abomination, Jack Harden, and the Adrenaline Junkie, Damon Ryder.
Well, this is
whatever the hell they want me.
I guess, you know, they don't give a shit to tell you on their character sheets what they weigh or you know, what their information is when they come out together. But now at least we know they are the agents of lunacy. And this is not the AOL that you're used to. This one hits much, much harder.
I mean, these two teams have been going back and forth for the past few shows, past few weeks, possibly even months. I'm not good with timings. Yeah,
this is close to a month and a half here that they've been going head to head. Jack Harnage attacked Dragon Kid on 1.9, and
Damon tried to do the same thing the week after to Morgan, but Dragon Kid came in to make the save.
Absolutely, and we know that these two teams on the last episode of Covenant Pro Wrestling Uproar, they faced each other, and that's how this steel cage, this Hell in a Cell, was decided.
And the orange straps.
I really love the orange straps. I think it adds a little bit of
variety.
A unique feel, yeah.
I do love the orange straps, but
wait a minute, now we see Jack Harnage's face. I wish he'd put a strap on that. Damn.
Phrasing. Anywho,
don't cancel our show.
Please, executives. We love
Anyway,
you.
the orange straps, that's what it's all about here tonight.
And the two teams going at it. This is the second four-man match we've had tonight, but this time it's a tag team contest for the Tag Team Championships.
And ladies and gentlemen, it's all title matches from here on out.
Now that's exciting news, that.
All the belts will be decided here tonight. And this one is a match that I've had my eye on for quite some time. We've heard about the history just a moment ago, but now we're going to add to it just a little bit. And Morgan, unfortunately, may not remember the history of this match following that chair shot.
And the chair shot, not just a chair shot. He got hit with a chair, and then he got suplexed onto that chair head first. But Dragon Kid currently just taking it to the little man. I mean, I say the little man. Dragon Kid's not that big himself. And the little man does seem to be bigger than Dragon Kid, which isn't impressive, but he's the smaller of his two team. Of his team. It's my first night on the job, ladies and gentlemen. Allow me some slack.
Listen, it feels like my first night every time, so you're doing fantastic.
But Dragon Kid with a massive sunset flip. Going straight up top.
Wait a minute.
Looking for here?
Dragon Kid went for that double rotation moonsault.
Or as he calls it, the Kid Salt. Oh, but the guillotine locked in. Wait a minute. Huh? They're outside the cage.
They've been outside the
cage
for close to 30 seconds now, and this does not mean anything good for either team. I think they need to get it back into the ring.
Dragon Kid. Harness picked up that chair, and Dragon Kid just leapt off the ropes and bulldogged him onto the side of that chair. But now we have Morgan Sharp and David climbing up the side of the cage. This is never a good thing. I can't really see up there what they're doing, so I'm just...
I realize that the camera angle that you're seeing right now, fans at home, is a little strange, but if you can hear the chair shots from Dragon Kid and see what's going on the top of this cage, you know that this is an absolute crazy matchup right now.
See, this just proves my point from earlier about Dragon Kid's and Morgan Sharp's fighting styles. Dragon Kid wants to keep it in the ring because that's where he knows sort of what to do. Outside that ring, on top of that cage, he doesn't have that much knowledge. But oh my God! Do we need medical?
Jack Harnage calls himself Harnage Carnage, and we're seeing some carnage right now. A 2 count in the middle of the ring. Camera angle getting a little bit better now that all of the participants in this matchup are grounded. And Dragon Kid, speaking of grounded, grounding Damon Ryder.
Dragon Kid, what could he be looking for here? The Stun Dog Millionaire. I know he has a name for it, but I'm going to be honest with you. I cannot pronounce it.
I can't pronounce it either. That's why I just call it the Espiritu. I don't even ever attempt that first word, so sue me.
The Barma Espresso. But he just hit that Kid Salt too. And he kicks out. A Barma Espresso followed by a Kid Salt, followed by another Barma Espresso shot. And you can see Morgan on top of the cage already celebrating. And we have new Tag Team Champions.
Ladies and gentlemen, no longer are the Agents of Lunacy, as they are called, our Tag Team Champions. This is the era of Dragon Kid and Morgan Sharp. Somebody's got to start thinking about their names now.
Well, you've suggested it, so I'm gonna sit here for a minute and think.
You love to see it. it or not, you know, these two balance each other out, different styles, not clashing, but meshing well together. And we have new Covenant Pro Wrestling World Tag Team Champions.
Also known as How to Train Your Dragon, kid.
Yes. Morgan Sharp is a very excellent Dragon Kid trainer, but now the moment we've been waiting for since this match, night started, the matchup for the CPW Television Championship and a 6-man ladder match where none of the contestants have been announced.
I'm going to quickly run and grab a drink. Be right back. Be right back, James Randall.
I can hold down the fort. Enjoy your drink. I will hold down the fort and do everything perfectly. Ladies and gentlemen, I have absolutely no idea what to say right now because I don't know who's in this match. But I do know it's for one of the biggest prizes in this industry, the Covenant Pro Wrestling Television Championship that was announced earlier tonight.
The following contest is a 6-man ladder match, and it is for the CPW World Television Championship. Making their way to the ring from Northern City, Nevada, weighing in at 251 pounds, he is the Chopper, Seth
Dallas making his way to the ring. The Chopper has had more luck in recent weeks, embarrassing Jordan Chase most recently. And now he has an opportunity to hold gold here in Covenant Pro Wrestling. And now that my broadcast partner has left, I just realized I don't know who is in this match. Is Jacob Clark in this match? We're not sure. I guess we will find out. But right now, all that matters if you're Seth Dallas is getting the win, climbing that ladder, scaling that object, and grabbing those belts, grabbing that belt. Definitely one of the paragons of this industry. Seth Dallas has been everywhere, done everything. And I have to say, he can carry the brand of Uproar. He's someone that I know can carry that load. And as we're in suspense here, waiting for the next announced, competitor in this matchup.
And now, making their way to the ring, he is the bounty hunter,
Barkley making his way to the ring. The bounty hunter, former Yakuza member, is here in this matchup. Yet another member of this matchup that I know can carry this brand. He is a rising star. He is someone that is dedicated to this craft, someone that is dedicated to this company. And if these announcements, these reveals of competitors in this match keep continuing in this manner, we're going to have one of the most legendary matches that we've ever seen here at Covenant Pro Wrestling. And still I have not heard from my broadcast colleague. I'm starting to get a little worried.
What's up? I'm back.
Well, I was for sure that you were going to be in this matchup. You left so quickly. I thought you were pulling a fast one on me.
No, I said earlier, I did not get an email. Still annoyed about it. But we have water at the desk, but I wanted a Pepsi, so I ran to catering.
Yeah, but you're also you're also a Clark, right? So, so I don't know if I could trust it. I don't know. Well, we saw one, and now we see the other. The second City Knight, the second Covenant Horror.
His sister sadly losing that match earlier tonight against Emma Barkley. But
You know, I imagine there's nothing but pride there with the fight that she put on, the effort that she put in. Daniel Horror, if anyone understands what it's like to come up short, it's the Zistros and it's the Horror family and it's Daniel and it's unfortunately Liza for a long time.
Yeah, that does make sense. Also, I should mention that I didn't just go to catering. I had a quick wee chat with Jimbo, congratulated him, all that good stuff.
Well, it's about time someone in the Clarks got a win in Covenant Pro Wrestling. And I know that Jamie has won before, but it was looking a little bit iffy as of late.
What?
I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it.
What? Are you trying to say that us Clarks have fallen off?
Well, that remains to be seen.
How dare you, James?
To be honest, I do have my fantasy pool going, and Jamie Clark is one of my top picks. So even though I jest and I kid, I know you guys are money. But speaking of money, spend yours on CovenantProWrestling.com. But right now, hide your money, because here comes this guy. Johnny D. We talk about unpleasant figures here in Covenant Pro Wrestling. Talk about ominous figures here. He is the number one example that I would give you. Look at the face paint. You look at the imposing form that he has. He's built like a truck, and he hits like one too.
I mean, he is a big boy. He defeated a man that's in the main event tonight. Will Sheridan.
And as you see, he's not afraid to fight the fans either. And yet he did defeat Will Sheridan. So he's definitely made his name here in Covenant Pro Wrestling.
He did unfortunately lose to Jay Scott though on the last show. But he is here because I'm assuming he's here because he beat Will Sheridan, the current world champion.
He's here because he beat Will Sheridan. He's here because he's one of the biggest reasons this title was invented. He was saying there wasn't enough opportunity in Covenant Pro Wrestling. And as much as Will Sheridan totally despises Johnny D, he had to take a step back and realize that he was right. There needed to be another belt.
Is this Johnny? Buddy! Don!
And we hear that this is a debut, darn it. Dan Darnister making his Covenant Pro Wrestling debut. You're going to have to fill me in, Jacob, because I'm not very familiar with this character here.
This man, he's a veteran of the business. He can only say one word. That word is done. He's in love with pickles, and the man can fight. He is a former multi-time champion, and he knows what he's doing. He knows his way around the ring. I know it may not look like it, but he is an amazing wrestler, and he can defeat almost anyone, no matter how big they are.
Well, you heard it here, folks, from the Clark newsletter. And Dan Darnister, Darny Boy, is one to watch here in Covenant Pro Wrestling.
Also known as the Pickle Man.
Are those pickle pants? No, it's camouflage. Never mind.
I love his shirt. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's a work of art. And you
Definitely
can get one
great
yourself.
design. Where can you get it?
CovenantProWrestling.com.
Absolutely. No promo codes on that one. That's brand new.
You can use code Jacob Clark and I get some of the revenue, please.
It's the only way Jacob Clark gets paid.
Making his Covenant Pro Wrestling debut, weighing in at around 240 pounds.
Wait a minute.
From Nottingham, England, this is Big Match Lucas Baez.
Making his big match debut.
He looks different from when I last saw that man.
Well, it's a big match, big occasion. What better can you ask for?
He's he's had a bit of a glow up, hasn't he? He's stolen my hair.
I think it's the gel he put in his hair. I think that's what it is, right?
Yeah, he probably uses mousse.
Makes all the difference.
It does.
Get your Covenant Pro Wrestling mousse on CovenantProWrestling.com.
You can even get one with a picture of my face on it.
Unfortunately, those have been recalled for defects. It was something about the face.
Oh, did they get a picture of me with a lazy eye again?
Something like that.
They keep using that photo. They misspelt my name on my name badge.
So your name is not Jakub?
No.
Oh, I thought it was a U.
Don't want to talk about it. But Lucas Button, former multiple championships, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, in CWL and quite possibly other places. The man is a very good wrestler, and he's proven it. But can he pick up the championship here tonight? Johnny D escaping him as he tried to grab it. And oi, Lucas, fuck off! Sorry, he was shouting at me. I had to fight back. I ain't gonna stand for it.
You know, I don't know who's going to win this match. I have my bets placed. I think it's either going to be, oddly, I think it's going to be Johnny D, and the Pickle Man has won me over.
I mean, I have to put my money on Seth or Daniel here, if I'm being completely honest. Seth is a veteran, he knows what he's doing. He is a very reliable wrestler. He's always been able to just get that win and pull it out of the bag whenever he needs it. And Daniel, who's grown up in a wrestling family, and he has said that he wants to be the horror that isn't a nearly man. He wants to be the horror that wins the championship.
So let me ask you a question, Jacob.
Yep.
One of the biggest criticisms that Johnny D has had as he slammed Lucas Button down on the canvas is that he keeps losing because of multi-man matches, that he doesn't have a fair chance to win championship and make his mark. Now, I think a competitor should be able to thrive in multi-man, matchups just as easily as a one-on-one if you're meant to be a champion. What is your take on that?
Well, so I used to work for this little company. I was having an opportunity at the World Championship in that company. And someone asked in a briefcase, without a contract for it, they just carried a briefcase in and said, I'm in this match now. The ref agreed with it and made it a triple threat. I wasn't prepared for that sort of situation, and after that match, I threw a hissy fit. I got very annoyed. But all of the people that were around me, all the veterans, they all said, a champion needs to be prepared for anything, any situation, anyone to come in and attack them. I've learned since then, and I've improved. And if you can't thrive and win in a multi-man match, you don't deserve to have that championship around your waist.
You heard it here first. The Clark newsletter speaks again. We should call it something funny. The Clark Tribune. I think that has a ring to it.
What's a good name for a Clark newsletter? For whenever I go off and spit some facts about wrestling.
Oh, I've got it. It's the Clark Chronicle. But right now,
the Clark Chronicle. Oh, Foray just smacking Darnay with that ladder.
Right now, Foray, he's trying to make his way up the ladder.
And Daniel just beating off Seth Dallas.
Darn it. Here's the first attempt at trying to get this belt. One of the numbers is locked in. We do have a combination lock that the competitors do know the code to, but it's just very difficult to enter it when you're climbing on top of a ladder.
Yep, I've worked in companies with that sort of rules before, and my God, it's so difficult. The code is so high up. Because you can see where that belt is attached, and you can see where we're grabbing on. You need to tilt it to try and be able to see any part of the number. You can't even see the number that you're on. You can see the number below, So you need to just try and guess that you've got the right number and hope.
Absolutely. And as people start entering numbers on this combination, they could enter it wrong, or you don't know what number they left off on. So you start punching in numbers and it just doesn't register.
And it is much easier to get that number locked in at the beginning of the match.
What is going on with that desk there? The commentary table for the Swedish announcers.
One of the fans was trying to take it, but we have security for a reason here. But as I was saying, that combination is so much easier to get into the beginning of the match because, you know, you haven't hit your head multiple times. Speaking of hitting your head multiple times, Danny Horror just hitting a massive fireman's carry, whatever that was, off the top of the ladder. And Don Esther's on his own. He's going for it.
It's his darn moment, and he's going to make the most of it. 2 of these numbers locked in. He's gotten both of the ones so far. 3
of them. We've got a little updater on our little monitor down there saying when one of the numbers has been got, so we can keep you all up to date. And we'll try. Can we put it on screen?
One of these days we'll put it on screen. I don't know if we have the technology to do it in post right now.
Seeing as it's live. Or really?
We might need to figure out how Jamie Clark came to be and go back to the future and fix that ahead of time.
Are we live?
Well, I would hope so. Either that or this match is just a simulation. But now, Big Match Button going for a big moment here.
Big Match Bum, in my opinion. God.
He's going to have a big boom boom right now because he's just dangling over top of the ring.
Lucas Button is a
goes.
very good wrestler, but he's just a bit of a twat. He's just rude, doesn't answer to anyone, and he just annoys me. He has no respect, but he hasn't earned the right to have no respect for people. He's just walked in, he's just waltzed in and shown up like he's the bloody owner of the place. He hasn't earned anything. He hasn't proven himself, he hasn't done anything.
Well, I've heard that this was part of his contract, that Lucas Button wanted to come in on a big match because he is big match only Button.
Yeah, well, he's a big match bitch, so he can fuck off. Bleep me all you want, I don't care.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you hear some unpleasant beeps, it's because my broadcast partner has a potty mouth.
Hey, I explained why I have a potty mouth.
Reaching up, unable to get another one of those numbers
And
punched
Johnny
in.
just with a stalling suplex. That takes so much core strength to hold another human that high above your head for that amount of time. Seth looking to fly here. But Donnie's trying to push him off, but Donnie doesn't have the strength. Frog splash!
Johnny D very
Slowly
gingerly
climbing.
making his way up there.
Oh, trying to get that fourth number locked in. Fourth number locked in. Fifth
Fifth
number
number.
locked in.
Sixth
Sixth
number
locked in.
Johnny D
But he saw Ray coming and just dropped the championship. That
Right
just
on
shows
the cusp.
skill he has.
Johnny
yeah.
D was right there.
Big Max Button climbing up. Trying to knock off Ray. No.
No, he's not.
Big Max Button with a suplex. Oh, clipping his legs on the rope. Those ropes are not soft, I'm telling you now. Those ropes leave bruises when you hit them. And my God, they are painful. But Seth, well, no one else was looking. Oh, Danny turned around and saw him climbing. He heard the ladder clunking.
Seth, I will give him credit. for being able to, you know, scale those rungs of that ladder very quickly. But I would have committed. You know, you only got 2 more numbers to punch in. And now we're going to see the vertebra breaker here.
Position.
That 96 position. And 2 of the biggest men that we have in Covenant Pro Wrestling on the same ladder for Ray fighting off.
Booting Danny off. But Danny will not stand for it. He's bringing him down. He knows he doesn't have the strength to just put him down, so he goes up and power bombs him. Holy guacamole.
Johnny, he's almost there. One more.
There's only one more number to be punched into this combination here. And Johnny D's down.
Johnny D is down at the most inopportune time.
But Danny takes him down. Lucas realizes there's no one on the ladder. Oh, Danny's going up. And Lucas knocks the ladder. Taking both men down with him.
That was a ring awareness like we have not seen here tonight. That was impressive to know exactly where he was, exactly where he needed to be, and do what needed to be done to take both of his opponents off.
I'll take back my statement. Lucas might have earned a little bit of respect with that, but not enough respect to walk around like he owns the place.
Lucas going for the belt there, but realized he wasn't in the proper positioning. And now Johnny D, I think the man who has gotten the most numbers in this combination, or might be tied with Darnay there.
Again. He's just spinning it around trying to find the right number. But Lucas makes him drop the belt. Lucas takes him off the ladder, picks him back up. And an end of days. Lucas climbing. Everyone else is distracted. No, please, no.
Ladies and gentlemen, Lucas Button, Big Match Button, is now Big Belt Button television champion on his first night here in Covenant Pro Wrestling. And I have to agree with Johnny D. On this occasion, Johnny D got screwed.
Johnny D didn't get screwed in that match.
We all got screwed. We all got
outplayed.
screwed in that match. Outplayed. You know, I guess we can say that. Congratulations, Lucas Button. Welcome to Covenant Pro Wrestling. And right now, we're moving on to the Women's Championship. Marilyn Myers going head-to-head with champion Belle Florent in an Extreme Rules match. Marilyn Myers doesn't want to just take the belt. She wants to hurt Belle. Because Belle won, you know, the championship, and then she took off. And then Marilyn Myers has been steadily trying to prove her name here.
I'm telling you now, Belle wins this match. Quickly and violently.
Absolutely. One of the things you got to remember about Belle, MMA experience.
Rules match, and it is for the World Women's Championship. Introducing the challenger, making her way to the ring from Los Angeles, California. She is the Queen of Screams, Marilyn Myers.
I'm going to tell you now, James, I don't know much about Marilyn Myers, but from what I've seen of her in-ring competition, she is someone to be feared.
Absolutely. Marilyn Myers calling herself tonight Santa's Little Screamer, feeling festive, embracing the holiday spirit here in Covenant Pro Wrestling. And you know, even though she is doing that, she is very, very serious about taking this belt home. It's all she wants for Christmas. It's all she wants for the holidays. And Belle Florent, who we haven't seen in quite a long time now, better watch out, because ring rust, as we were saying, can be a factor.
Ring rust is definitely a factor. Staying away from in-ring action for such a long time is such a dangerous thing to do to yourself. That's why before, I knew I was getting excited, okay? I know I'm one of the best in the world and I deserve to be here. But before coming here, I was competing every week.
From
Laurent, draped in gold. Not just with the belt that she is carrying, but her attire as well. She knows that this is a big match. She knows that she hasn't been around in quite a few weeks. And you have to think, is she mentally prepared for this match? Has she been training, like you said, Jacob, for this moment? You would hope so if you're Belle Laurent.
You say you hope so. You have to. There is yes, you can be new to the business and not experienced, but you can still work with it, because when you're new, you have to be training. You have coaches there to train you and bring you in and make sure you are doing the work and enough work to get in. But ring rust, there's no one there to help you. You're just sat on your own doing nothing until just one day you're back in the ring and it is painful.
I think the whole matchup tonight is going to be painful. This is Extreme Rules at the request of Marilyn Myers.
I mean, Belle is undefeated for 5 wins. She hasn't lost in CPW so far.
She hasn't lost, and neither has Marilyn Myers. Only 2 wins, but the sentiment is the same. Both of these women have a lot to gain and a lot to lose, especially if you're Belle Laurent.
I mean, there is a lot of respect to be gained for whoever wins this match, because it's either the young. Well, I say young. I don't know much about this wrestler, but did they come through the academy?
Well, yeah. I've heard from my sources that Marilyn Myers has only been wrestling for under a year. She went to an indie show, decided that she liked it, and wanted to embrace the spirit of professional wrestling. And she was one of the top performers in her local indie promotion, and that's how she got spotted by CPW.
So yeah, you have the young, hungry talent who's desperate to prove themselves, who could possibly win a world championship in their 3rd match in the big leagues. Or you have Belle Laurent, who needs to prove that even with the ring rust, she can go toe-to-toe with anyone in this company. No matter what happens, there is respect to be earned here and a championship to be gained.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Jacob. I'm no wrestling historian, but I think this is Belle Laurent's very first women's championship. So to win the belt and to lose the belt in her first match after winning it, that would be an embarrassing fate for Belle Laurent.
From my just general knowledge and my watching of wrestling, I believe this is her first women's world championship. She had held a tag team championship before, but I believe this is her first women's world championship running the women's brand. Running the women's side of the company.
Thank you for your knowledge, and thank you for backing me up when I admittedly am not as well versed in this as you are.
But what I will say, walking into a championship match as a champion is much scarier than walking in as the challenger. Especially when you, especially, what's the word I'm looking for? What's the word I'm looking for? It wasn't especially, that's why. Yes, walking into a championship match as the champion is much scarier than going as the challenger. Because, that's the word. Because when you go in as the challenger, the worst that happens is you leave and nothing changes but your record. Walking in as the champion, you lose money, you lose your championship, and you lose being the face of your brand. You lose that exposure. There is so much to lose, so there is so much more nerves in walking in as the champion.
And that ding to the reputation, it's not just dropping a belt to the better competitor. That stays with you for quite some time, and it's not just get back on the horse and get the belt back, because oftentimes there's always someone else in front of the line waiting on their spot. You never know when you're going to get the next opportunity, so when you grab that opportunity, you want to hold on to it.
But we just missed Marilyn Myers hitting that skull cutter on Belle Florent. That was nearly it, and we didn't even pay attention. We are terrible commentators.
Terrible commentators indeed, Marilyn Myers. I know you're the queen of screams, but please don't bring your screams this way because I am very scared of you.
I mean, as you would be. She is a terrifying... And she's got the grave danger locked in on Belle Florent. Could she make a tap here? The ring rust might be too much for Belle, and Belle might have to tap, but the MMA experience might help her out here. But she lets her go. Does she have something better planned? Oh, she thinks she's made her passed out. But Belle kicks out. She played a little bit of possum there. That's such a smart veteran move. Act like you've passed out, make them let go, let them get the cover, kick out of the pinfall, and you are free from the move.
And a huge senton there. But only a 2 count. Belle Florent showing us what she's made of, trying to hold on to her championship.
But Marilyn Myers just showing that she's got so much more to give, and she's been in that ring more recently than Belle, and if we're being honest, it's showing.
And now the weapons come into play. Or maybe they don't.
Marilyn doesn't seem to want those weapons to be in place. She wants to win this championship clean. She wants to prove that she's a better wrestler. Not a better fighter, a better wrestler than Belle.
You know, it's interesting that you say she wants to win this clean when Marilyn's the one that requested the stipulation, this rule. I'm wondering if she's just not ready for those weapons to come into play on behalf of Belle Florent.
It could be she wants to use the weapons. She wants to win the fight like that. But in the past, I've done it myself. When you don't know what a champion's going to do, if you think that champion has a possibility of leaving the match and just going home, taking their belt and leaving, you choose Extreme Rules. Because they can't get disqualified to keep their championship. They can't get a count out to keep their championship. It has to end in that ring. But you never know.
Now, speaking of things being in the ring, we have that bat maybe coming into play, but never mind.
Twisted Fantasy from Marilyn Myers, I believe.
Absolutely was the Twisted Fantasy, and right now with that bat in the ring, I think Marilyn Myers with that look on her face is having a Twisted Fantasy of her own. But never mind, I guess I shouldn't project my own Twisted Fantasies for this match.
Well, I have fantasies, bro. What are you thinking about there, Rose?
I'm thinking of brutality. That's all I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about blood. I'm thinking about broken bones, shattered teeth.
Butcher's snare locked in by Belle Florent. This might be it. Marilyn Myers might not be able to get out of this.
No, that's it right there. Nobody. Not only does she withstand, she also counters out with the head scissors. Unbelievable.
What's she looking for here? And a massive DDT to Belle Florent in the apron. Driving her head first. Obviously her head first. Driving her head first into the hardest part of that ring. Because
well, now she hit the hardest part of the concrete there.
You hear the term hardest part of the ring a lot, but no one seems to know why. The middle of that ring, there is a thin, and when I say thin, I mean thin, layer of padding there. But on that outside, on that apron, there is just wood or metal you are hitting. And Belle just got her head driven face first into it. Oh my God. She was just dropping that sledgehammer onto her foot. Holy gosh.
Well, you know what they say, it's all about the game and how you play it. And right now, she's, liking playing dirty.
I mean, Belle wants to keep her championship at all costs.
Referee Leonard Seymour having a difficulty there with that baseball bat in the ring.
I mean, he's not used to having to deal with weaponry because he's used to dealing, with just normal matches. No weapons involved. apart from splitting up those wrestlers from fighting who are using weapons when they're not supposed to be.
What's Marilyn Myers thinking now? Lifting up that apron, grabbing a chair.
I guess you were right. You were right. She wanted to save those weapons for later into the match. Maybe she was saving those weapons for a desperation move of, you know, she doesn't know how confident she is in her chances of victory. And, you know, just takes the chair. It's what I would do. It's just a smart move to make.
Absolutely.
Having those weapons there as a backup option. What were you going to say there, James?
I said absolutely, and I just want to remind all the people in the arena here tonight and watching at home, this is a single fall competition. This is not 2 out of 3 like we saw earlier with Emma Barkley and Liza Horror. One fall. That's all you need to take that belt home.
Speaking of reminders, you can get Belle Florent and Marilyn Myers Christmas sweaters on CovenantProWrestling.com.
I'm a fan of the Maryland one myself because it says Maryland Christmas, and I think that's quite creative.
And I'm quite a big fan of bells because it says jingling your bells this Christmas, but spelt like her last name. It's quite humorous.
Well, if it was spelled like her last name, it wouldn't say Belle, but I understand.
You know what I meant? Spelt like her first name. It's not my fault. I'm stupid, Jimmy. I'm the one of us who's an actual wrestler.
It's okay. It's not your fault, you're stupid. It's your mother's.
Which one? My birth mother or Cassidy?
Well, you know, I'd never say a bad word about Cassidy Clark because the consequences of doing that are dire. And no, thank you.
That makes sense. Feel free to insult my birth mother as much as you please. Anywho, Belle with that chair, just taunting with the chair in her hand, calling her to her feet so she can hit her in the head with that chair again. But Marilyn Myers just saying, back away, and hitting her with a twisted fantasy. That's got to be it. Surely.
Gotta be
1,
it.
2, 3. Belle Florent finally dethroned.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a brand new What the hell?
Belle! Come on, Belle!
Leonard!
There's no need to get angry about it. We
Leonard,
get you
you-
lost the title, but
Ladies and gentlemen, well, after that scene we just saw, there's only one more thing to see here, and that is the World Heavyweight Championship with Jay Scott and Will Sheridan going head-to-head. Falls count anywhere.
I am excited for this matchup. And if I'm being honest, I'm rooting for Will.
Rooting for Will. You know, I think the role, the wave that Jay Scott has.
Actually, I say rooting for Will.
The World Heavyweight Championship. Introducing first, making their way to the ring from Rockville, Maryland, weighing in at 222 pounds. He is the self-proclaimed greatest of all time, Jay Scott.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jay Scott seems to be feeling festive right now in his red attire.
This is the man I want to win this match. We like Jay Scott in this household. He deserves this championship, and he has proven that he belongs in this championship scene.
Absolutely. And Will Sheridan.
And now, making their way to the ring from
It's going to be a hard one to beat, but I think he's beatable. Obviously.
He is the Blood Warrior. He is the Iron Will. He is your Covenant Pro Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion, Will Sheridan.
He's dressed like a Fortnite character.
Will Sheridan, dressed like the gingerbread man.
From Fortnite?
I'm not quite sure.
But this is the man I believe will win the match. I don't want him to. I get he pays my bills, but I just prefer Jay, if we're being honest.
He said, run and run as fast as you can. You can't beat me. I'm the gingerbread man.
Oh yeah, he's ginger. That explains the soullessness.
Will Sheridan diving right into the holiday spirit. I can't imagine someone retaining a championship wearing those mittens, but we'll just have to wait and see. This has been a night I'll never forget. It's burnt into my eyes. I'm sorry, please don't sue us.
As much as it is to say that, the mittens aren't actually that restricting to wrestling. That they don't restrict your... The only thing they might restrict is his grip. Because they are, you know, they're cloth, can easily slip off. Yeah, the actual wrestling side of it, not effective enough. There's the movement side of it. There we go.
He doesn't use the will breaker to grab the leg. He doesn't he doesn't use the hands to do the will breaker and grab the leg. I think he'll be fine. Either that or the cookie will crumble here tonight.
I see what you did there. Is he going to wear that hat?
I think he's taking a page out of Emma Barkley's book. The hat is not coming off tonight.
King shit.
And if he has his way, the belt is not coming off either. Referee Leonard Seymour getting to live his childhood dream, raising that World Heavyweight Championship above his head. A beautiful belt that is.
Match underway. Jay starting off very quickly and just going straight for the strikes. Ain't no chain wrestling here. These two just going to attack each other. I'll say
absolutely. They know each other so well. Every move is going to be countered in the beginning of this match, just because of how much they've studied each other, how much they loathe each other.
I mean, these two have had to study each other because for Jay to be convinced that Will's a problem, he has to have done some form of research into him, surely.
You know, Jay Scott says that Will Sheridan is the problem, but Jay is the one draining Covenant Pro Wrestling of most of its money. Jay Scott got an $8 million contract to wrestle here in Covenant Pro Wrestling because he said he wouldn't spit on anyone for less.
What?
That's what I heard.
Holy moly. I mean, let's be real here. Will does do quite a lot for this company. So, like, I don't understand where Jay's coming from. Will does a lot for this company. He's a good wrestler. He's a good behind the scenes. He does everything. And Will Sheridan.
Will Sheridan is the head of production. He's the president and CEO of Covenant Pro Wrestling. He is the GM. He goes out into the community and makes business engagements. He sacrificed his own salary and gave it to Jay Scott just to bring the fans the best wrestlers on the planet. And the egomaniac Jay Scott has the audacity to say that he's not doing enough.
Yeah, Will thinks that Jay doesn't respect him. And James, do you have some sort of like personal vendetta? Like, are you paid to only support Will in his matches?
I gotta support Will. He signs my paychecks. And also, Jay Scott, you know, I've done commentary with him before. And as much as I like the guy, I've seen how his ego can go a little bit unchecked. He calls himself the greatest of all time, but here we sit, and he is not the Covenant Pro Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion.
I mean, but he is an amazing wrestler.
No doubt about it.
And
we see that right there.
Do you want to know why he isn't world championship? Why isn't world championship? Why isn't world champion? Because he hasn't had the opportunity yet.
A 2 count. Will Sheridan gets his shoulder up. Jay Scott maybe about to make the cookie crumble, as we said before.
Could he be looking for it? Adam Smasher! But Will kicks out. How?
Barely.
The crowd already chanting fight forever. They don't want this match to end. And Jay just dumping him outside of the ring right in front of the Swedish commentary table. Sweden.
And you know, we have this matchup for the championship. We have this winner takes all situation. But I don't think that this feud is going to end at this match. I think it's going to continue for quite some time. Because there's going to be a lot of unfinished business here, I believe.
I mean, this feud seems to go past the championship. And Will with an atom smasher of his own. Just being a bit disrespectful towards Jay with that one there.
Wait a minute, Will Sheridan, his size can be deceiving. He pulls off moves like that. But Jay Scott, you can't count him out. And nearly knocking the head off the hat off the head or the head off the shoulders, either way.
Oh, Will sweeping the leg. Looking for the Will breaker. And let's not be mistaken here, that massive vertical suplex powerbomb he just hit was the buffer overflow. But, you know, had a bit of a delay on it because us commentators were buffering a bit.
So, you know, it's hard to do commentary in a match like this where all the stakes are so high. Who knows the state that Will Sheridan is going to be in after this match? If Jay Scott takes that championship, if Jay Scott injures him to the level that I think he will here tonight, just as we're starting to see this, we might have a problem.
Victory road here. Victory road to Will Sheridan, and it has to be over.
The road is paved and there's only one thing to do.
And that one thing is kick out and break the road down. Got to get Lightning and McQueen in to fix it. And Jay looking for the three amigos. Never mind.
Which is it up, two amigos there.
But back to your point of it being hard to commentate with the stakes being so high. With the stakes so high and the wrestling so good, we get enticed by the match and forget that it is our job to talk and speak over the match.
We go from being professionals to being fans, and right now, not looking good for Will.
Smasher! That has to be it. New champion. It's over. But Will! You can't break his will. As he kicks out of that move. But
Jay
Jay's
Scott
right back on him.
Right back on him. This barrage of suplex, all the different variations that we've seen tonight show exactly why you're bringing me over to your side, showing me exactly why Jay Scott is meant to hold this championship and be a face in this company. But can he be the face of this company?
And just stomping the knee down. He got dropped on that knee a few weeks ago by Johnny D while backstage. And that looked brutal, so I think Jay might be smart trying to attack that knee there.
I think the backstage assault was actually El Mascara Negra, but your point stands. Huge neckbreaker there by Will Sheridan. Pinfall.
Hey, I get confused with the amount of people that hate Will, okay? Someone new attacks Will every week. It's just confusing.
You know, that's why I'm glad we have the television championship to keep our champion safe, because he is the CEO, he is the GM. Without Will, how does this machine run? And speaking of Will, can a will be broken here tonight?
With the Will Breaker locked in, will Jay Scott tap out? He's done it! Will Sheridan retains the World Championship.
Ladies and gentlemen, the production truck is having fun. For the love of God, someone please take this belt off of Will Sheridan, because he's got enough stuff to do.
I'm sorry if you could hear me laugh on the commentary, ladies and gentlemen. I just wasn't expecting it. But with that, let's let Will celebrate his victory, and good night, everybody.
What a sight to see. Thank you for joining us here for Covenant Pro Wrestling. That's all we have for you tonight. Like, share, subscribe, and more, because we're going to be back in 2 weeks with Covenant Pro Wrestling Uproar.
Bye-bye.
Nice. Killed it.